Let me
That's
check.
what
Check.
I think we are.
I
Maybe
I
if you're in
see.
the chat, maybe you should be watching.
Let's have a look. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we are.
I think we are live.
We
Yeah.
are? Oh, we are. Nice. Thank goodness. All right. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Market Buzz. Dun, 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 dun. I have to get this probably set up the right way. Oh, today's episode is going to be an interesting one. Markets are freaking out. Well, I'm freaking out. I don't know if markets are freaking out, but I am freaking out. That's for sure. Because I don't trust this. It's too calm. Everybody's too happy. There's nothing going on, and they just keep making money. Today's episode, we have Timothy and myself, Nestor Mendoza. Make sure to check out our portfolios and hit that like and subscribe. Let us know your questions in the chat. We will meet you in the chat. Hopefully, next time we can get the all four of us together. But let's get this show on the road. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the market overview, what we're seeing in markets, how we're trading those markets, what we're paying attention to, and we're going to go into the rumor mill, try to figure out what rumors are going on. And
Nestor, there's an echo. I can hear you 2 times.
You can hear me 2 times?
I can hear you just fine.
Dang.
Mimi's saying the same.
Should have told me that before I started streaming. Did it start like just now? Wait, is it better now?
In the beginning, it was like that.
Next time, just let me know. But yeah. Technical difficulties with Riverside. We are accustomed to this. We're not brand new. Did that fix it at all?
No.
No? Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, no, it's gone. We go chow in the chat as well. Okay. So, welcome, everybody. So, yeah. Markets this week have been an interesting ride, you know? We got GDP data today, and it came in lower than expected. And tomorrow we have PCE data. Interest rate predictions are starting to change towards a rate cut in July. I think we've gone up about 10% chance of getting a July cut. There's rumors that we are gonna see Trump come with a replacement name for Powell. And the S&P 500 is sitting at all-time highs, very close to all-time highs. The Nasdaq is sitting at all-time highs. Nvidia, my favorite stock, is sitting at all-time highs. My wallet is sitting at all-time highs, and I cannot complain. It's a great day to be an investor, but days like this have got me worried. You know, and I said it at the start of the program, is just, you know, there's a little bit of uneasiness. You know. Gold? Am I gonna buy gold now? I don't know. You know, like I wanted to be mentioned gold when we were sitting at all-time highs, and now we're sitting at all-time highs. So now I'm looking at defense, or I'm looking to potentially rotate a little bit. But what are you guys seeing in the markets, Dimitris? I know that the macro data you've been paying attention to for sure.
So you started and said that you don't trust this rally?
I don't trust it. I don't like. We're too comfortable. You know what I mean? Like everything. Like we've been super bullish. Like, well, you guys have been even more bullish than I have been. But I think in Market Buzz overall, we've been very bullish, right? And then it seems that we could continue to go up, but we are sitting at levels just before the Trump euphoria, right? So
this is the most hated rally of all time.
Yeah.
Because,
I agree with that.
What happened to Timothy? Because we just finished a conflict and the market went back in business like nothing happened. But don't expect this to continue for too long, because we're going to get the earnings in a couple of weeks. So we have to get strong earnings for this to get a continuation of this rally. That's basically, we're just revisiting the highs of February. It's not like we've been going up 6 months, right? And And some investors are rotating outside of Europe and Asia, and they see that there are some deals to be moved. There are some deals to buy in the US. As for data, the GDP was expected. Nothing. I mean, are you really surprised about the GDP data?
You know what? I'm surprised at the fact that it was such a mess. It's pretty deep. It's like it's Q1 data. So I'm not. I think it's Q1 data, right? But I'm not super surprised about that. But the fact is that
No, it's a Q2.
it's Q2. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's it's expected, right? It was expected that we were gonna come in low, right? But then we came in almost double what we thought we were gonna come lower. Like it was, I think, negative 0.5. Right, so then it shows you that there's a little bit more weakness that the market isn't, that at least the market is anticipating here. If that doesn't exacerbate into Q3, then that'll be great. But I mean, it's scary. It's a bit scary, right? Could we see it? Could we see it? Yo, Timothy, by the way, do you hear me? Do you hear the echo again?
No, it's gone. I had my own YouTube on desktop open,
All right, so
streaming
that
live.
means technical difficulties. We know how to trade stocks, we don't know how to live stream. You know what I mean? We're learning. But yeah, so yeah, it's been kind of like, it was like, I was expecting sort of like this slowdown, but the question is like, does it continue to get worse and worse? Because we've seen the consumer get a bit hurt more than expected, and the rest of the world is hurting a lot. Like UK data is coming in really ugly, and then next week we're gonna get a very interesting data as well. So it's gonna be very, very intriguing to pay attention to that as the data starts popping off, and then PCE data, see if inflation. I don't think we're gonna get that inflation, but we are sitting at all-time highs. Look at this.
Yeah.
I love the charts. I love the interactive stream. But this tells me that we're sitting pretty. I mean, it took what, like almost 3 months, 4 months for us to get to these levels, which was a proper correction.
So there are three things, and then I'm going to let Timothy go. Just three things to look is the July 9th deadline.
Correct.
See what happens there. The Fed, what the Fed does, because all eyes on the Fed. Because I mean, we went through this last week, and Trump found the perfect opportunity to hit on Jay Powell again, just a couple of days after Jay Powell was at the Capitol Hill. And in my view, and I asked Mimi about this because I wasn't sure, maybe I'm just biased, and I was asking Mimi if she saw the same thing, if the pushback to Jay Powell for holding rates higher was bipartisan, was by Democrats and Republicans. And she agreed. So it wasn't just me seeing that. And Trump found the perfect opportunity to came up with this, like to find someone in September, October, and then we're going to have the shadow Fed until then the whole thing becomes even more complicated. But again, market is gonna climb a wall of worry as long the earnings come stronger than expected. That's the bottom line for me.
I think so. I think so too. Timothy, what are you seeing?
Yeah, markets are at all-time highs, as we said. In 60 days, the market rallied over 50%. Wait, let me double check.
50%? You mean the S&P? I mean the Nasdaq.
25%.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. I was gonna say the S&P beating me. I don't think the S&P is beating any of us.
So yeah, in the short term, the market could see a little bit of correction because it can be overbought, especially after such a run in such a short time. But like, do you see any bad news right now that would cause the markets to crash lower than it went in April? Because we had tariffs out of the way, you have the war, but it doesn't seem to scare the markets. Actually, it seems investors love war because it's trading at all-time highs. And yeah, what narrative could cause a crash? So first of all, mostly we won't see something like a crash coming, so that's obviously a stupid question. But all economic data, the earnings, they're all great. So as Dimitri says, as long as that keeps going, we shouldn't be worried on a market crash.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely in that camp too. Like I think earnings are going to be very critical, and I think many companies, because I think even Micron had earnings. Was it Micron that had earnings yesterday?
Mhm.
And they ended up like I think they got punished today, but then Nvidia and AMD found some strength.
I called the AMD. I called the AMD.
I
I
know.
told you
It's
guys
such a good call.
about the AMD, and it's going to be a rotation out of Broadcom and into AMD. But the Nvidia people, because it's mostly retail, those people are staying.
Yeah.
Broadcom is the institutional guys. They get into AMD. Okay,
So
got it.
interestingly, what's your price target for AMD right now?
Next 12 months or toward the end of the year?
Like like let me ask you this, what do you think fair value for the stock is? Right? Because like we've seen that stock go from 80 to 143. It does it does scare me that at current levels we could see a lot of more money piling in, but are we overvalued at levels like this? Because I'm thinking, for example, I'll give you my predictions on Nvidia, and it's like I'm starting to reduce my position at 160, and then potentially hoping for that volatility to come back, unless China comes back into the picture, right? Similar with AMD, but the question is, do we see AMD in the next 12 months at all-time highs? Do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Assuming the earnings come on point and they give a decent outlook, a decent, not a spectacular outlook, a decent outlook, because they came up with a new product. What's the name of the chip?
The MI 350, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a cheaper alternative to what Nvidia is producing. Maybe not as good, but
Yeah,
decent alternative. So everything points to that momentum. I know we don't invest based on momentum, but other people do.
yeah,
So it's momentum, it's positioning within the sector, and the Middle East, the chip in the Middle East, uh, in the last couple of months, just gave the semiconductor industry an alternative market other than China.
yeah,
Even
for
though
sure.
China they're gonna buy whatever they want to buy through Singapore and all that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see AMD in the 200 by the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Mimi saying there won't be a huge crash, but I feel a pullback is due. Some event or news will cause it. I'm cautious, right? And I you know what? I think like sitting like it's funny now because Timothy was showing the S&P. And funny enough, the S&P, like, we could test the highs and then come back a little bit lower as people are taking profits from just the recent rallies, and then see that, like, see a correction back and then re-engage that bull run that we're seeing. In terms of AMD, I mean, I agree with you. Like, it just seems that the chip sector is gonna just continue to outperform. It's insane, what we're seeing. And I the thing is just like, do I think AMD was worth $200 a year ago? When was it AMD at all-time highs?
185.
Right? So let's say 185 how long ago? Like 6 months?
That was the 52-week high. So in the last year, it
Yeah,
was.
in the last year. So I don't think before, just because everybody was so euphoric about the AI chips, I don't think that they had ramped up production enough. But I think as production is starting to come online and they're starting to come up with new chips, we could see them come in and then grow into the valuation that they're coming. Because again, I think their current P is extremely high because their earnings are not high enough. But
Mhm.
then the forward P is looking interesting enough, and we could see that actually get smaller as we are seeing
They
the
will
ramp
need
up
to,
of.
they will need to deliver on earnings for this to have a further upside. This is not gonna it's not gonna go to crazy valuation just for the sake of going up. Something they have to show us something. And if they don't, the same way it went up, the same way it's going to go down. So
Yeah.
how much exposure do you have on AMD? But one more point I want to make about NVIDIA and AMD. People see it as NVIDIA is Coca-Cola and AMD is Pepsi, and it has to be one of the other.
Yeah.
I don't see it like that. I see it as peanut butter and jelly. Okay,
Okay.
so you can have you can like both, and you can like one more than the other. So okay, peanut butter and
Yeah.
jelly.
So they're complements to each other.
Yes, wasn't the best comparison, but you
Yeah.
get what I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
it can be, it shouldn't be one of the other. It's not like Exxon and Chevron. They sell the same thing. No, what AMD sells is in the same sector but different than
Yeah.
Nvidia. So both can do well at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost like one of the things that I heard that kind of made a lot of sense to me, at least for AMD, was that they missed the training rally for
Mhm.
AI chips, but now the inference and all of that stuff, the running of the servers and the running of the models, they're coming in at the perfect time to actually take advantage of that. And because there's not enough supply of chips in the market, that's why they're not competitors. They're just supplying
Mhm.
data centers that are just eating up as much as we can. But yeah, this is what I was talking about here, right? When we look at the AMD P ratio, it's sitting at 105 right now, but the forward P is sitting at 24, right? So they're growing. They are, as long as they don't miss expectations in their earnings, in the
Mhm.
future earnings as they start rolling out, and hopefully that guidance gets shoved up by both the analyst and the company too, at least next quarter guidance. So that's something we're gonna definitely be paying attention to. By the way, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to make sure you're keeping up with the with our live streams, because we're probably going to be doing NVIDIA live streams and AMD live streams at this point, because I know Demetrius really wants to do that. And don't forget to check out Timothy's course down in the comments, free of charge. First couple of episodes are free on Market Buzz. All right. Timothy, what about you? What are you seeing on your desk right now?
Well, there has been a lot of news on Bitcoin this week because the US government confirms Bitcoin accumulation. And yesterday was the news that the White House officially revealed that the US has a long-term strategy to accumulate Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So in other words, we know Bitcoin is going up no matter what. You have the US that's going to keep buying it or start buying it. And then what happens? Other countries will follow. You will probably see countries in Latin America follow. You will see, I don't know, Asia. You have companies in Asia already doing it. So I think as a retail, all you can do is swim along the waves and not against them. So just make sure you have your stack of sets before even Europe starts buying Bitcoin, and eventually we will get there. They're still in denial, but if the US is doing it, if everyone is doing it, I'm sure they will follow. So that's basically what I am following, and I'm also tracking like how many institutions are buying Bitcoin and how much is it. And so far, if you look at the stats, 10% of institutions have Bitcoin allocations. Let me rephrase that. So, of the total supply of Bitcoin, 10% has been bought by institutions.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how it's, yeah. So that means there's only 90% left for us, retail. But you know, the big boys, they're buying like every week, month. They're trying to stack as many Bitcoin as they can, and we are just looking at the charts. Is it gonna dip 1%? Is it gonna dip 2%? Oh no, I just lost $100. It doesn't matter. You have these big institutions just slurping all of your Bitcoin, and eventually there will be some kind of supply shock, and we will see another parabolic move in Bitcoin like we've seen in past cycles. Because what we've seen so far, it's been trending higher and a big retracement and a base. Trending higher again, big retracement and a base. But we haven't seen like 2020, 21, and 2017 where price just continues to go up, 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 up. So the question is, are we gonna see that once institutions really slurped all the Bitcoin and retail comes really in? Because right now there's no real retail. Or is it gonna be the new S&P where you'll see the market trend higher, Bitcoin trending higher, big dump, and then eventually, boom, trend higher again along with the S&P. So that's the big question. But I think institutions are buying, and there will be some kind of supply shock because there's only a limited amount of Bitcoin that can be mined, and the amount being bought by institutions right now is like so much more. It's 5 times more than what's getting released into the exchanges and the supply of Bitcoin.
Okay. So are you looking to increase position then on Bitcoin?
So my plan currently, I'm positioning more into Ethereum because in my opinion, we're gonna enter a more speculative phase.
Okay.
I'm not saying alt season because that word is cursed, but I would say Ethereum is starting to build a narrative again, where we're seeing more interest in stablecoins, more interest in tokenization. So Ethereum is kind of the hub to build all that. And that's why I think Ethereum might be the beta play if Bitcoin trends higher again. You know, Bitcoin dominance has been trending a lot lately, and I don't think it will continue. Usually what happens, people ignore Bitcoin and it just keeps going up, 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 as we have seen in the past couple of months. And then suddenly retail, they think, oh no, Bitcoin is the only asset that matters. We all are pro Bitcoin. But that's actually when it flips and speculation happens. So you gotta watch out and at least check some of these altcoin plays, see what could be an interesting buy, but not just again buy any altcoin, whatever, without checking the charts. You have to build on strength.
By the way, Mimi in the chat has said that the coin she's paying attention to right now and whatever's on her desk is called DAG. Apparently, it's a micro, like a small cap that nobody has paid attention to yet. So pay attention to that. Yo, Timothy, you wrote a post on the Genius Act, and I want to know sort of like how this plays out into your thesis, right? Because we got a little bit of development at least on that. So what are you seeing there?
Well, we discussed it last week. The US really wants to start with stablecoins. They really want to back stablecoins with the dollar or treasury bills, so make it really happen. That means actually very bullish for crypto, very bullish for Circle, very bullish for the projects involved with stablecoins like Curve, but also you could say DeFi projects like Aave, Maker, and very bearish for companies like MasterCard, Visa, companies that control the financial system right now. But if Amazon, Walmart, Meta are going to start, implementing stablecoins, the companies like MasterCard and Visa are gonna lose market share because using stablecoins is much cheaper, is much efficient, much more efficient. So there's a little shift happening where we also got a notification, a news notification that MasterCard is now planning to also focus more on stablecoins. They're trying to catch up with this trend because they certainly don't want to get left behind. So that's what I like also about those companies. They always try to be along with the innovation and not just block it, which is great. So I think eventually those two will swim together and not against each other.
Okay. Well, interestingly, what do you think, Dimitris, on that? Do you think because I know that Mastercard at least is innovating, and they're actually, well, they partnered up in 2020 with Circle at some point. But what are your thoughts? Do you hold Microsoft or Visa? Sorry,
Uh,
not Microsoft, Mastercard.
no, I don't hold any of those.
Okay.
And Circle, I didn't know too much. I mean, I knew the company went public and went crazy, went parabolic.
Yeah.
We had a short conversation last week,
Mm-hmm.
and it took like a little bit of a dip in the last week, but
Correct.
that just profit taking probably
It's
after.
likely the question that it has to maintain, but it's so difficult to understand what the value of the
Yeah,
company is, right? I
yeah,
think if we go, if you want to see something crazy, right? Like if you want to see like at this level of speculation, because I have a friend that bought some of Circle to try to get in, and I think he got a little bit punished. There is some bouncing off today. We're seeing 10% up from the bottom, but it seems like a very like a bubbly like a very like a bubbly like a bubbly asset to own when PE ratios were hitting almost 1,000 and then forward PE ratios were sitting at almost 300, right? So it's very
yeah.
difficult to say if adoption will be as fast as we really believe. I mean, I don't think the old generation is gonna let their credit cards go.
I mean, it has to. I mean, okay. So the hype is usually based on something, and the hype starts, and then in some point it gets crazy. So what was the point that it got crazy? I mean, look at the chart.
Yeah. No, it was whenever the Genius Act got passed, no? Or just before the Genius passed. The
I mean,
Genius Act.
so is that the 200-day moving average? The green
Yes.
line underneath? Okay, so it just went below it. Oh no, it did before as well. So you see, okay. I mean, I don't know too much about the company. If I'm being honest, I just general information about it. As far as Visa and Mastercard, I don't own them, but I know they are solid, and I'm sure they're gonna do something to be able
Compete.
to compete. And in what capacity, I couldn't answer that question. But yeah, the circle, whatever it is, I'm not jumping after like a 500% since the IPO, like
Yeah.
in 2 months, like a month and a half, 6 weeks, whatever it was. So sometimes it gets out of the league. But one thing I want to say about crypto, and that was the news yesterday, is Fannie and May. No, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae,
Mm-hmm.
two mortgage companies that the U.S. government took under control after the global financial crisis. They announced yesterday that they're planning to consider crypto assets as collateral for a
For
mortgage.
mortgages. Yeah.
So, so Timothy can go to the U.S. with his bag of crypto and get a mortgage
Yeah, with Fartcoin.
with Filecoin. I don't know if it's going to be like. I mean, they haven't given any details if they are going to count them as the same. But so what I'm trying to say is that the industry is moving. There you go.
What is he doing?
No,
He's not even wearing a pants.
I am wearing pants. Look, I'm wearing my pants, dude. I have to show. Market Boss wants to really know how our Nestor's legs looking.
Yes.
What does he wear down there?
We don't want to know what's down there.
Here. Let me do this. I want to do like, but finish, Dimitri. Sorry, finish.
So my point was that the industry is moving into a positive. The industry, and I think Trump has a lot to do with this. I don't think we are moving to this direction if he was a Democratic president, and I don't think he's doing it. I mean, it doesn't matter the reasons why he's doing it, but he's doing it. And the push is coming from the White House for whatever the reason, good or bad. So, crypto is the future of crypto looks bright.
Correct. No, I think so too. I think just to kind of like, yeah, like I'm not worried about crypto, like crypto per se. I got a whole finance sector. I mean, they're starting to embrace it more and more. It's becoming easier and easier to hold.
I can't see you. I can't
I know.
see. Oh, you okay.
Because I'm here, baby.
There you go.
But yeah. I'm going to open it. It's deep end. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do the opening. I got this gift. I want to see what's inside. I don't know what's inside. Because I went down with
Yes, you want to open?
Yeah. Yes, I want to do it for the live. I was waiting to have everybody on. You know what I mean? But we're sort of
Hold the mouse pad.
right? So let's hope that. But yeah. So just to end it real quick before we do the live opening, you know, it's kind of like the things that we're looking for next week and the things that are scaring a little bit is just the tariff deadlines, number one, which we get July 8th, July 9th, and then the unemployment data and inflation data that we get potentially next week as well, and tomorrow might be a day to pay attention to as well. So I don't know. I think they are potential catalysts, right? And if Trump starts getting like, you know, if he starts selling Europe, you have to sign this deal and they don't sign, that could get really ugly really quick. But this was the diamond event that I went to. You know?
That was
Is it a big box?
Hmm?
Is it a big box?
It's kind of big. Look at this.
There you go.
You know, I have tiny hands, right? No, I'm just kidding. I have big hands. The biggest hands possibly.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. So it's somewhere. Let's have a look. All right. This is, it has magnets. Oh, that's a nice experience. Right.
Maybe
All right.
Echo.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So this was a proper gift. You know, this was in the parliament.
Nice.
What
Is that a cigar?
No. So let's huddle. So this is the Etoro Club for the people that don't know. You know, there's different tiers that you can join on Etoro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they treated me nice. I'm not gonna complain. Like Etoro, if you ever want to invite me again, I'm more than happy to join. You know.
For sure.
It says, thank you so much for joining us at the Etoro Diamond Club dinner at the House of Parliament. Your presence made the evening truly special. I know, always.
House of Commons.
We hope you enjoyed this small gift as a keepsake and a memorable night. It was a fantastic night, to say the least. Yeah. We got the Glencairn glass. Yeah.
Damn. Nice.
She's a nice little cup, you know.
House of Commons.
Yeah, it's from the House of Commons too, you know. A little bit of chocolates here.
Try one live and tell us how it tastes.
Let me open it up, and then and then this one right here, which I'm probably gonna take. Speaker Oils Select single malt Scotch whiskey, 12 years. Let's go. Now
Nice.
it's truly special because it's for Scotch and stocks. You know what I mean?
Mm. There you go. And green.
Wow.
And in green too. You know.
Green. Great for the background.
Correct. This one is going instead of the green bottle that I have right there. You know.
So you were carrying that box in London? Why?
Yeah, I was carrying this. I took it all the way back to Scotland. You know, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Not bad at all. You know.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at.
I have to give it a try.
I know. I want to take it. I'm probably going to take it to the event, to the eToro Summit. You know.
No, don't bring it to Cyprus. We're gonna buy
I know.
something from here.
I
Don't
know. I know.
don't carry anything with you.
It's good scotch. It's scotch.
Can't wait to drink with you guys.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Promise I'll be wearing the same shorts I'm wearing right now in Cyprus because I'm going to the
Mm.
beach.
Let me let me say one let me say one thing about markets before I forget. You
What's
said
good?
before that what are you looking forward to? I'm looking on financials. They've been they've been doing well lately.
JP Morgan has been fantastic.
Yes, and Goldman Sachs as well. So
Yeah.
that sector, I'm really excited about going into the next quarter. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. There you go.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
How about you,
Let's go.
Timothy? Is any sector that you're interested other than crypto?
other than
Style.
crypto, I mean, if markets are at all-time highs, I'm not really paying attention to stocks. I start to scan stocks when things are crashing,
You
like it did in April. That's the last time I bought, actually.
you know where I'm seeing a
Um,
lot of value? Google. I told you guys
Still,
today, and I did it on Etoro, and I told every single person I know. I am calling today. Google will win the AI race.
All right, why don't you
but
show
like, how
Sure.
high do you expect?
Google is going to be worth more than Microsoft in a couple of years.
Okay, that's a big
Mm,
statement.
I know. I'm calling it right
Still,
now. I'm calling it right now.
All right.
Google is going to surpass Microsoft in market cap.
Okay.
Give me 2 years because it's going to take a while, but give me 2 years.
So
24 months.
is it like half? Is it even like 2 trillion Google?
It's 2 point something. No?
Point something, and Microsoft is 3.6, 3.7.
Yeah. So let's have a look.
So
No, 3.7. No, 3 point. Yeah. You know what? I look at the data. Google market cap sitting at 2.1. Microsoft. The thing is like everybody's taking away because all search is getting damaged, and market cap is 3.7. Yeah,
so it's almost like 100%.
100%. I'm telling you, Google right now,
Assuming Microsoft goes sideways.
of course. But
So
the
that,
thing is I think they're gonna like Microsoft never executes.
and I'm not
Mark,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to establish the
I know.
numbers, what it has to happen. Okay, so show us some forward price to earnings. I want the people that see the episode to understand what we're talking about.
So okay, so Microsoft, right? Okay, let me do some. Let me share my screen real quick here, right?
Because I'm bullish on Google as well.
Like I'm bullish on Microsoft. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that they're gonna get beat in AI. I just saw Gemini do something today that I was like, I'm hoping Copilot done ages ago, and it didn't. It's ahead. It's ahead. Gemini is ahead right now, and the market doesn't see it. But so we're sitting at almost $500, 497 Microsoft, and Microsoft is sitting at a 4P of 32.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Current P is sitting at 38, which is not crazy for Microsoft. And then when we go to Google,
It's a bit high. I mean, you can't say it's decent.
yeah,
It's a bit
it's a
high.
bit high, I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
And then when we go to forward PE sitting in,
17.
it's nuts. It's nuts.
It's
And
like
like the amount of reach that Google has,
it's a value play.
the amount of reach, the amount of like apps that they have, the amount of actual like incorporation within their apps that Gemini will have inside their models, it's like it's nuts. Like I asked Gemini today, I sent her a website, like I copy pasted some data, and I was like, put this in my calendar, and it freaking did without any hassle. And I was like, oh, it's supposed to be 5 minutes because it's market events, so just make sure. It did that like that. It did that in 2 comments. What used to take me like an hour on Sunday takes me seconds. Now it's nuts, and it's just the integration of all of the things that I use from Google right now. And if Gemini becomes smart, which is faster than what Echo or Alexa is doing, what Siri is doing, I just people don't know how Google can monetize. They can monetize like just a $20 subscription at some point or another. It's gonna be crazy. Like I just think it's the underdog of the century.
Okay,
I think Google right now is getting punished because they're losing their biggest cash cow, which is a danger. But because of that, they're not. They're able. They are in a position where they either innovate or die. And in AI, Microsoft doesn't want to innovate as fast because they're like, oh yeah, like we have Copilot and it's cool and it uses Excel sometimes and it helps you a little bit. It's trash. Copilot is trash. It's like Bing. It sucks. So if Google doesn't get broken up and the amount of data they're going to be able to execute. Remember this day as the day Google started the race to beat Microsoft.
give us a price target.
Price target for Google right now,
Next
next
12
12
months.
months, easy 210. Like we're going back to all-time highs, easy.
That's it. That's it. 210.
Yeah, for now it's easy. I'm being conservative. You know what I mean? But the thing is, just like when we start seeing like the innovation and how fast they're doing this, and how they're just gonna be able to monetize every single aspect with just ads, bam! Like they're gonna be an ad play. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like 210. Like by the end of this year, for me to be conservative, but like it's
Because,
like
because Barron's called it a fair value 275, and that was a couple of months ago.
let's have a look. So let's have a look at the forecast. 245, and then
Yeah, those forecasts, I don't put too much faith on them because,
yeah, because they have their own models and their own
yes,
things, and depending on who they hold and who's checking it, right?
you
But
can you can't go solely based on that, but it's a good, you get an idea what how the market is feeling.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on everything, and I'm bullish on Google as well. But I don't want to underestimate Microsoft because what Microsoft has that Google doesn't on earnings, Microsoft delivers every time.
sure.
They don't get it wrong a little bit. No miscommunication, no of any nonsense. Google, in the last couple of years, they missed a couple of times and the stock took a hit of a 10-15%, which was a buying opportunity, which I bought.
Yeah, there's only
And
one time they missed
which
in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the last 12 times
Google,
they've missed once.
Google,
No,
okay,
no,
my bad.
Microsoft. Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft. How about Google?
Let's have a look. Let's go. Google.
And that miss was probably like by 1%.
All right, Timothy, thanks so much for tuning in. It's been great to have you. Any last comments before you leave? Because I know you gotta go somewhere.
No, just check out the channel, subscribe, follow us on Etoro, come with questions. That's it. We're here every week to help everyone become a better investor, and we're here to help. So
Don't forget to leave a comment, a like, and a subscribe. All right.
Is Timothy going to a place that they serve beer?
maybe
Likely. After hanging out with him, likely.
you won't hear me tomorrow.
We don't have to do a live stream tomorrow. Yo, how was your
No,
barbecue? Good.
super.
That's fantastic. I'm glad.
All right, guys.
All right.
See
Peace,
you.
Bye,
peace.
talk to you soon.
Let's have a look at what Google has to say. Let's go to stock detail and then Google likes to perform too. I just think it's not as consistent. There was a time where Google got hit properly, which was
Yes,
2022, which was like bam, 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 bam. Okay.
yes, but Microsoft, and if you can see the miss, I remember it correctly, it was by 1% on EPS and probably 1% on revenue, which is basically a very nonsense of the market reacting. So that's what Maxwell has compared to the rest of the Max 7 actually. Even Apple, okay?
Okay.
They deliver on earnings. They're not gonna blow you off. They're not gonna blow out
Yeah.
earnings like a 10% increase like an Nvidia, but they're gonna deliver consistently, and that's what got them to what is it? Is it the second largest company now? Nvidia is number one.
I just I just don't see Google. I don't see Google stepping away from here. I don't I think in like it's just like Google has like I was telling you, I think Google makes more chips than AMD
Yeah, but they can't sell them to anybody
because they need them.
because they need them.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the market is not going to value that as anything because what the market values is okay, so do you have all your supply is sold already and you're on back order for the next 2 years? If they show that, then the stock goes to, you know what? And even without knowing any of that and knowing that Google is going to compete, a 17 forward price to earnings ratio is like it's like there are banks that they
I
have.
know. I know that's the problem. It's like every single person. The thing is like, look, search is a big part of the revenue model. It's true.
Yes.
It's true. I don't take that away. But I think because that is likely to come down, they're just like they're in such a position like it's their game to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the new feature they added, and they added the automatic AI once you search, that's an improvement. They get
Correct.
it. They
And
get
they're
it.
gonna add. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Google and you search, what should I search that it will give me? Like you think they're not gonna add they're not gonna have here like ads and things where you can be the top thing of the top thing that's gonna get shown here and here and here. Like 100% they're gonna monetize this, right? Like
Yes.
what pays Google what pays Google is this, right? Is that if you go broker or if you go not broker, but if you go what like bank, and then all of a sudden you see the banks sort of like, and then the sponsored little tab is where they get paid, right? I'm telling you, like they're just gonna add it to their model, and this is like great. I just don't see them losing this at all. Oh
So
wait,
how?
Cypress
Okay.
just did.
Okay. So once I hear someone being bullish about something, I have to ask the follow up, and the follow up is,
I'm
what is
increasing
your
my position. I'm increasing my position slowly. I
okay? So,
have.
so how
I've
much you have now? Just give me the rough number.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Wait, on Google,
Yeah.
percentage wise,
Yes.
like wait, well on eToro, let me have a look. Right now on Google, I'm sitting on what's called. Like right now, it's what? Like I invested 6% and it's sitting at 4% right now, and then I'm probably gonna go up to 10,
Okay.
and then
So
so it's probably gonna become one of my biggest positions. Like
yeah.
after Nvidia, Microsoft's still 10%. Don't get me wrong. I just think that Google right now, like because we're talking about how the market was overvalued right, not overvalued, but at all time highs. I
Mhm.
think that Google right now is fairly valued.
I think it's below the fair value.
Yeah, likely.
Yeah,
You know, that looks great.
it does. What is the thing next to it?
This one.
Yes.
So that's the Chinese cat that gives you money and luck.
Okay.
That's a Pokemon card. That's a microphone that I got for free in America.
Okay.
And then that's another bottle of whiskey that's just red.
All right.
So if
Looking
you want to
good.
give me a bottle of whiskey that's red, so I can put on the there.
I don't think I have anything red.
It's okay. You have time to get it.
Yeah.
when I go to Cyprus,
I have a bunch of wine.
I'll take that.
My collection into wine now is getting like,
Big, eh?
yes, it's getting big, and I'm running out of storage. So yeah, so we're getting there.
Yeah. If you start going like me, you start using all of the walls. You know what I mean?
No, I just ordered a fridge, a wine
Okay.
cooler,
Nice.
just for wine.
Nice.
So I'm up to that now.
Okay. Okay.
Once I fill that wine cooler, then we have a problem.
It's okay. We'll get another house for the wine. So
Yes,
one for you, one for the wine.
yes,
That's how you balance.
yes.
All right. Well, I think we've touched on all the points. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we touched on the point. It was a good talk.
I
Uh,
think so too. Mimi, thanks so much for watching the whole episode.
Always.
Yeah. It's been great. It's been fantastic. I'm slowly getting my house done. As you can see, I'm also like improving all of this is all stream equipment that I'm going to potentially start using.
Did you end up doing it? Did you end up doing the room, opening the wall, and doing the bathroom?
No, so I'm changing that. So the plan changed. So I was gonna make a hole in one of the walls. Now I'm just gonna move a wall forward and then a door backwards. And I've
Okay,
reduced my budget by like 40%, I think.
okay, that's good. That's a good deal.
Profit. Yeah.
That's a good
It's
deal.
not
Yeah.
bad. My dad, it's like I try to come up with it, but I'm an economist, and my dad is an engineer. My dad was like, "Why the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Just do this." The difference between an economist and an engineer. It's so clear to me now. It's so clear. Oh man, I was just like, yeah. Like we make a hole, then we just like change the whole room, raise the floor of the bathroom, like do all of these different things. When the reality is just like just move this one wall 2 feet forward,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like a door, not even a wall, a door. So that's the plan at least. We'll see how that pans out. All right, Dimitris,
All
thanks so
right.
much. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm gonna try to stop it. Sometimes